Hello, welcome to or welcome back to my channel. Officially October the 1st, and you know what that means. It's fall. It's my favorite time of year. Now it's the perfect time to bring out the cozy blankets, candles, the pumpkins, the leaves are changing colors. It's just so perfect. I love it. And I'm so excited to pick which books I want to read in October. So I have my TBR cart here with some books that I want to read soon. And from it, I'm going to pick the books that I want to read in October. To me, October is about dark academia, fantasy, thrillers. Like, this is the perfect time to start diving into those books, even though I kind of read those throughout the year. But still, there's just something about fall. I love fantasy and I read fantasy all year round. Reading fantasy in the fall, I don't know, it just takes it to a whole other level. So without further ado, let's take a look at the books on my TBR cart and I'm going to pick about 7 or 8 books that I want to read in October. Okay, so up here I have a lot of fantasy books and they kind of extend down here too with some romances that I want to read soon. And then I kind of just stuck some more books randomly as I bought them onto the TBR cart because I wanted to read them soon. But there is one book that I know for sure I want to read in October. Wednesday. I love the show and this book follows the first season. I know it's going to be like season 1, but still it's just so cool and I love Wednesday. If you haven't heard of Wednesday, it's about Wednesday Addams from the Addams family and her experiences at a new school that she moves to for outcasts, and there's monsters involved and there's secrets involved and it's just so good. I love Wednesday. And Wednesday has a dark academia feel, which will be perfect for October. There's just so many books I want to read, but I'm going to try to pick 8. I read 7 in September, which was pretty good, but I want to try to read 8 in October. And I have my little pillows. I got them out. Got my little cat, my little ghost. Are these not the cutest little things? I love them. Just a little touch of Halloween in my library. And then I've stuck some random pumpkins around on my bookshelves. And then I put one over there, and then I have one here. I just love it. This is my favorite time of year. Okay. I'm going to pick A Study in Drowning by Ava Reed. This is another dark academia book from my understanding, or a dark academia fantasy book. Inside it says, but if fairies and monsters were real, so were the women who defeated them. That's cool. And look how pretty that is. And I just love the cover. It takes place in a college setting and there is an estate involved that is owned by the female main character's favorite author. And she runs into this guy named Preston, who is a scholar from the literature college, to find evidence that the late author was a fraud. So there's secrets in here. Supposedly there's monsters and fairies. So we'll see. I've seen people talk about this and they all seem to enjoy it. So I can't wait to read this. Guys, this is so hard to choose. Okay. And if you watched my last video, you saw the books that I read in September, and one of those books was Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas. I am currently going through the Throne of Glass series, so I have to add the next book to my October TBR, Heir of Fire. I have read ACOTAR and I loved ACOTAR. I did not think anything could beat ACOTAR, but now that I'm getting into Throne of Glass, that might change. I liked Assassin's Blade. I read that first, and I liked Throne of Glass. But when I got into Crown of Midnight, it's like everything just started to pick up and I was getting into the meat and the heart of the story. And I was finding out all these different things that are important to the whole story and all these secrets about the characters in the book and all the adventures. I cannot wait to dive into this one. Like, I am hooked. So this is Heir of Fire. This is number if you read Assassin's Blade first, this would be number 4 in the series. But if you start with Throne of Glass, then this would be number 3 in the series. And I know there's like 50 million different ways to read Throne of Glass. So comment below which way you guys think is the best way to read Throne of Glass. Because right now I'm just going through consecutive order. So this is going to follow Selena Sardothian. And she's going to be going to a new land and experiencing different things. And there's monsters involved. So we'll see what she gets into in this book. So that's 3 books that we've picked so far. I don't know what else to read. I mean, I want to read them all, but I don't think I can read all of these in October, you know? My heart wants to, though. There is another one I want to read. And if you saw in my last video, I talked about getting this book as part of my haul. If I can get it out of my cart. The Academy by Ellen Hilderbrand and her daughter Shelby Cunningham. This book screams fall. Look at the trees. So this is a college setting book that I am excited to read because I really enjoy Ellen Hilderbrand's books and I want to read more of them. It says, secrets, rumors, and dangerous liaisons. At an elite New England boarding school, they come with the territory. Best-selling author Ellen Hilderbrand teams up with her daughter Shelby Cunningham to deliver a fresh and buzzy look behind ivy-covered walls. I just feel like fall is the perfect time to read academic setting books. And, I mean, the covers definitely fall. So this is going to be, I have a feeling this is going to be good. Okay, we're halfway through picking my books for October. Okay, I have to throw in some type of a romance book, right? How about Fall into Temptation by Lucy Score? This screams fall as well. Fall into Temptation and the Leaves. And I love Lucy Score. Everything she writes, I love it. So this is about a bachelor named Beckett who lives in New York. He's the most eligible bachelor and he lives in a very, very nosy small town. His ex-girlfriend had handcuffed herself to his porch and set his welcome mat on fire. So now he's just kind of done with romance. He's not looking for it. He doesn't care anymore. Enter a girl named Gianna. She has 2 kids. Her ex doesn't help her do anything. And she has a brand new yoga studio. So her mind is far from thinking of romance. Like that's the last thing on her mind. So apparently Beckett is her landlord, her mayor, and the favorite son of her father's new lady friend. Ooh, that's a lot. So it looks like they're going to have a romance going on. And it could cause some problems. Okay, I think I want to go with another like fantasy-ish book. So I've had this on my TBR since last year. I just never read it. Gothicana by Runix. It's a tale of dark romance. It says, an unusual girl, an enigmatic man, an ancient castle, what could go wrong? And I love the inside of the book. This screams Halloween to me. And I love the purple sprayed edges. Oh! So there's like a little crest. It says Varenmore. Is that the name of the castle? Oh, so it's about an outcast who lost her mother. And she receives an admission letter from the mysterious University of Varenmore. And it turns out it's a castle on top of a mountain filled with secrets and deceit and lies and death. And then there's a guy named Vad who knows everything that's going on in this university and is a part-time professor working on his thesis. So he and Corvina, the girl, catch each other's eye. It says, and so begins a tale of the mysterious, the morbid, the macabre, and deep love that blossoms in the unlikeliest of places. That sounds cute, like a little dark romance in a castle setting. Let me know if you guys have read this yet. Gothicana. Okay, that's 6 books. We have 2 more left to choose. And I'm such a mood reader, so I'm really happy that I get to dive in more into the fantasy dark academia genres for October. Like that is my mood right now because fall, all things fall. I'm going between some books here. I know I said in my last video that I wanted to put this one on my October TBR But there's some more other ones I want to read that's more fallish, I feel like. So I might save this one for November. I'm thinking maybe... I think I'm going to do another Dark Academia. The Other World Post. I've had this on my TBR for quite some time, by Emily J. Taylor. And it's about a girl named Maeve who lost everything. Her father, her name, and now she's desperate to get away from everything about her father, like, because he committed so many crimes and she just wants to get away from that. So she changes her name and she keeps moving around from place to place. Like, she doesn't stay in the same place for a long time. Then she gets a letter that says your father was innocent. So of course she wants to uncover that truth, and she pretends to be an apprentice for the Otherworld Post. And while she's there, she will be trained in scriptomancy, which is dangerous magic that allows couriers to enchant letters and deliver them to other worlds. But because she's looking into her father's past, it's drawing more attention to her. Like, her mentor, who is very handsome, knows that she's lying about her identity, and she's trying to convince him to trust her. But then she starts getting threatening letters telling her that she needs to drop the investigation or else. So that sounds very exciting. Oh, I like the inside of the cover. It's pretty. So this kind of, from the description, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Divine Rivals in a way. I think it's because she's going to be working at a post. Okay, I'm gonna pick one more. Maybe two more, because I'm going between two, actually. You know what? Let's just do two more. And I'm going to pick Dance of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson. And I've been wanting to read this for quite some time. I have heard all good things. Another fantasy book. We've got a map. So it's about this outlaw family who claims to be the first family among like all these different nations. And then you have a son who is supposed to come into power. And then there's 3 women of the Queen's Guard. There's a street thief who wants to prove himself. And there's a dark secret that threatens the entire continent. So when this leader of the outlaws meets this thief, there's like this cat and mouse game that starts. And then they come together in a battle that may cost them their lives and their hearts. That sounds so good and up my alley. It says a brilliant fantasy with a boldly beating heart. And that's from Stephanie Garber, who wrote the Caravel series. Okay, and then the other book that I was going back and forth between, The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillett. And I've read One Dark Window by her and I liked it. So I'm thinking I'm gonna like this, and from everything I've seen on Booktube, Book Talk, people seem to have enjoyed this book. It's a gothic mist-cloaked tale of a young prophetess who is forced on an impossible quest with the one knight whose future she cannot see. So it's about this girl named Sybil. Apparently she has dreams, but she wishes that she did not have any of these dreams. She's a diviner, and when she's dreaming, she gets visions from like 6 figures that are unearthly, and they're known as the omens. So from these dreams, she can predict things that are going to happen, like terrible things. And that's why all these lords and people from all over this kingdom travels to her to learn these fates and learn these predictions. Well, one day this knight arrives at the cathedral. He's rude, but he's very handsome, and he does not respect Sybil or her visions. Then these diviners that Sybil knows start to vanish one by one, but she needs help finding out what's going on. So it seems like Sybil is going to team up with this knight named Roderick to figure out like what's going on, why are these diviners vanishing, and how to stop that from happening. And I like the inside of this cover too. Is it just me, or the inside of these books like getting so much better? So pretty. They used to be plain, plain white or black or brown or blue. Now we're getting designs, and I like it. Okay. This is a very ambitious October TBR, but we're going to try our best to get through all of these. I think we have a good mix of dark academia, fantasy, there's romance thrown in the mix, there's academic setting books, like all the things that scream fall and all the books that I love to read during fall. I can't wait. Let me know in the comments what you're reading in October, or if you've read any of these books and what you thought about them. And until then, I'll see you all in the next video.